Moving on now, almost 3 weeks after a Snapdeal executive, Deepti Sarna, was abducted in Delhi, another woman has gone missing in the national capital. Now, this also has happened under mysterious circumstances. The woman, identified as Shipra Malik, is a fashion designer by profession and a resident of Noida. Shipra left her home on Monday afternoon with an intention to drive to Chandni Chowk. 4 hours later, her car was found abandoned near her residence in Sector 37 of Noida. The window on the driver's side was rolled down and the car keys were found lying near the brake pedal. Now, her last call was traced near Lajpat Nagar and she had dialed the police. Shipra Malik is a resident of Noida and runs a boutique. She is married to a local builder. Her husband filed a missing complaint with the police, who are now investigating how the designer could go missing in a busy area of Noida in broad daylight.
ट्वेंटी को 1 बजे मेरी ब्रह्मपुत्रा में बात हुई थी उससे और चांदनी चौक जा रही थी। बस फिर वो उधर से ही निकल गई और 5 बजे के आसपास गाड़ी मेरे भाई ने देखी यहाँ खड़ी विजयंत एन्क्लेव के पास। मैंने 2:30-3 बजे के आसपास फ़ोन किया था उसे, तो फिर ढूंढना जब शुरू किया तो पता चला कि तब भी फ़ोन स्विच ऑफ है। जो उनके बड़े भाई हैं मिस्टर गुलशन तनेजा, वो लाजपत नगर में ही रहते हैं और इसकी लास्ट कॉल भी लाजपत नगर में ट्रेस हुई थी। तो इसके अलावा तो मुझे कोई ऐसा कनेक्शन लगता नहीं और हमारा किसी से ऐसा कोई डिस्प्यूट नहीं है।
एक महिला सेक्टर 37 में रहती है, कल 1:18-17 के आसपास नोएडा से निकली थी और वो दिल्ली जा रही थी। उनका लास्ट जो लोकेशन है वो लाजपत नगर नई दिल्ली का मिला है और वहीं से उन्होंने 100 नंबर कॉल की थी दिल्ली कंट्रोल रूम को। उसके बाद कोई उनकी लोकेशन नहीं है। उनके लिए गुमशुदगी दर्ज कर ली गई है। उनके जो परिवार के लोग हैं जो भी लिख के दे रहे हैं वो लिख के इसमें पुलिस सघनता से जांच कर रही है और उनकी तलाश की जा रही है। ये बुटीक चलाती थी, सेक्टर 37 में रहती थी और इनका चांदनी चौक में बुटीक था।
Till about 48 hours ago, this locality of Noida was just like any other normal locality. Unfortunately, things have changed drastically ever since. As you can see behind me is the residence of 29-year-old Shipra Malik, a fashion designer who went missing under mysterious circumstances. As we speak, the distressed relatives are recounting details of the final day over and over again. The police is here, the STF has also joined in. However, all of these efforts on one side, the question about the safety of women professionals in the national capital region raising its ugly head once again. With camera person Sanjeev Kumar in Noida, Jugal Purohit reporting for India Today.
29 को 1 बजे मेरी ब्रह्मपुत्रा में बात हुई थी उससे और चांदनी चौक जा रही थी। बस फिर वो उधर से ही निकल गई और 5 बजे के आसपास गाड़ी मेरे भाई ने देखी यहाँ खड़ी विजयंत एन्क्लेव के पास। मैंने 2:30-3 बजे के आसपास फ़ोन किया था उसे, तो फिर ढूंढना जब शुरू किया तो पता चला कि तब भी फ़ोन स्विच ऑफ है। जो उनके बड़े भाई हैं,
हमने अपनी गाड़ी विजयंत एन्क्लेव के सामने मेरे बेटे ने देखी कि खड़ी हुई है और शीशा भी खुला हुआ था, उसकी चाबी जो है फुटमैट पे टली हुई थी। तो फिर हमको लगा कि जब वो घर नहीं पहुंची, कहीं नहीं गई, तो समथिंग इज़ रॉन्ग। तो हम लोगों ने कोशिश करनी शुरू की, पुलिस को कंप्लेंट करी और 100 नंबर पे भी कॉल किया। तो हमें रात को ये बात पता चली कि उसने 2:56 पे 100 नंबर पे कोशिश की और वो कॉल काट दी गई, उस पर कोई बात नहीं हो पाई है और उसके बाद से लगातार उसका फ़ोन स्विच ऑफ आ रहा है।
Now, just weeks ago, the abduction of Snapdeal employee Deepti Sarna near Delhi by a stalker shocked the national capital. The latest case of a fashion designer, Shipra Malik, going missing further raises questions on women's security. Let's now go across to Jugal Purohit, who joins us live with all the latest details. Jugal, now this is, of course, as shocking as the Deepti Sarna case is concerned. In that case, of course, she came back home, but what we learnt subsequently was a case of a stalker who did, kidnap her and then later released her. In this particular case, at this moment, the police do not have any conclusive evidence or proof of where exactly Shipra Malik is.
Absolutely. In fact, even if they have, they're not obviously going to share it with us, at least at this point in time. What we are aware of is that just a short while back, along with the local police, the Uttar Pradesh Special Task Force is also now a part of the investigation. They've already begun their work. We are expecting some senior police officials also to pay a visit to the house. What I can tell you is that, of course, Shipra's husband, her child, her in-laws, they're all here, and importantly her own parents are also here. I just met her father a few minutes ago. All of the family members are camping here, friends and relatives, all of them are here. The police, as I said, is expected in a few minutes. What I did understand, and this is from the final minutes of Shipra's presence that we now know of, is that not only did she make that call to the police helpline, which was cut abruptly at 2:56 p.m. on Monday, but also interestingly, the car that she was driving, the car that she left in, was found perfectly well parked in a very secluded spot, very close to her residence. There was no sign of any struggle, according to the relatives who I spoke to. They also said that the window of the passenger seat in the front was half open, and the reason for that was only because the air conditioning wasn't working, and that's the way it would normally be even when she would drive. So the last known position of her, of course, is being reported from Lajpat Nagar in Delhi, but where the car was found, there are no signs of struggle whatsoever. And the husband has just told us that that's the area, Lajpat Nagar is the area where her brother also used to reside. So just why was she there? Why was that call abruptly cut? Why was her car parked so close to her residence in Noida, which is, if not more, at least 15 kilometers away from Lajpat Nagar? Many questions are still there in this case which simply do not add up. They do not make it a conclusively comprehensive kidnapping case. There has not been even a single call or communication for ransom more than almost 48 hours later. So there are many questions which simply don't add up, and they do not make this particular case a typical kidnapping case as we've seen till now. But of course, there is a lot that remains to be seen from here on, and what is more important is that the initial complaint, which was filed as a missing complaint, now of course, as we near the 48th hour, will automatically turn into a kidnapping complaint, whether or not there is a ransom call. So this is what is happening out here. As I said, all the relatives camping in this residence. The police is also expected, and the UPSTF along with the local police has already joined the probe. Back to you.
Well, till this point, and this is how the police investigation actually works in many cases, that till a particular point, they assume that this is a case of a person missing. Then after, say, X period of time, they then automatically convert this matter into an abduction whether or not a ransom call has been received in any case. So in this particular case, has the investigation begun considering this as an abduction? Because all the telltale signs or the tell-all signs are right there. A phone call to the police which was cut, a car mysteriously parked, the girl missing.
Well, of course, the investigation began. According to the family members, they are, at least for now, telling us that they are very satisfied in the manner and the pace of the investigation in this particular case by the UP police. And of course, as I said, the STF is also now a part of this team which is probing it. The reason why I say that the police was onto the job from the word go in this case is because that evening when the complaint was registered, the family wasn't aware of her call records. That evening itself, the police, by going through her phone number and checking the data with the telecom company, could inform the family that she had actually made an attempt to call or to contact the police on 100. That's the police helpline number, universal number, or rather pan-national number, of course. So that tells you that the probe has already begun. The conversion that you were speaking about from it being a missing complaint to a kidnapping case is an automatic procedure which happens, as I understand. And now, as I said, with the 48th hour coming very, very close. Remember, on Monday afternoon at 2:56 p.m. was the last call attempt by Shipra from her mobile phone, as we understand. So with that time having lapsed, it will automatically convert, but it doesn't necessarily imply that it's only now that the police will get into the act, because there are signs which tell us that the police was already onto the job, and they did actually manage to reveal a very important point to the family on Monday night itself. Back to you.
Jugal Purohit, many thanks for joining us, and of course we'll keep coming back to you as and when we get more information on this story. Shipra Malik missing since Monday. Some breaking news.
Well, the National Human Rights Commission has taken suo motu cognizance of a media report that the central government has removed customs duty waiver and also imposed excise duty on certain life-saving drugs.
पैसे वाले बाबू मेरा बजट बना दो, पैसे वाले बाबू मेरा बजट बना दो, बजट बना दो, बजट बना दो, पैसे वाले मेरा बजट तू